In this tutorial, I want to talk about creating the earthwork layer or the earthwork surface as a comparative surface between the proposed contours and the existing contours or existing surface and proposed surface. Before I do that, I want to call attention to that this is now a proposed surface that's been cleaned up. We have pretty good flow running through here, or pretty good minimized flat areas. And so we could even do a quick water drop test. Select the layer, use water drop this time, choose on the flow path. I don't have a marker on there, hit OK, and I can go ahead and drop some water drops in here. And you can see it's running really well. It's nothing's hitting my building. It's actually running along my swales. It should be running anywhere I drop it. It's running to my swales. Right? So even if I go against this building, it's running out. Even if I go right against this building, it's no water is going towards my building. So it's actually running right all the way through and out past my LPS on all these areas, including even these little tricky spots in here. It's actually running through. This one actually ran and stops. This area here is a little bit flat. I could put a point out here and actually help this along to get through here, but it's actually not too bad. We're actually hitting those critical areas. You can see where the water is going both directions, and this will join into my swale. You get the idea. It's a pretty good surface. So I'll go ahead and clean those, take those off. I'll isolate that, throw those away. And what I want to do is create a comparative surface between these two, because I'm pretty confident with this the surface to work well for us now. To create a new surface, I'll right-click on the surface here in the prospector, create the surface, and we're going to create a earthwork surface. I'll name it Earthwork. Hit OK. And I'm going to make this a tin volume surface. Choose OK, or choose the tin volume surface, and then I want a base surface of existing proposed surface, or a comparative surface as proposed. Hit OK. The cut and fill factor is set to 1. That means it's the settling. You're going to make a compensate for settling or shrinkage of soil. We don't have any factors to type in there. We'll get hit OK with that. Just let this be 1. You can see the surface actually looks more triangulated because we're seeing this as the contours just showed up of the earthwork. We actually don't want to see the contours of earthwork. It's going to make it very confusing. I'm going to let that earthwork be a no display. And in fact, I'm going to let the proposed be a no display. We could have to let the proposed be the 1 foot, 5 foot design. That should look it should look exactly like your design because that's what it's based on. But we can also turn that off and let your proposed contours show through. Either way would work just fine. Actually, I'm going to let your proposed contours show through because if I say no display here, hit OK. We're back to our original design. But now we can do more information on top of this as far as making our representation of the earthwork. First thing I'm going to point out is when we choose our earthwork, or actually when we look at our earthwork, we can sample. We go in the surfaces here. I do my surface and go to pull up my surface. I can choose my statistics in here and choose volume. You can see it's already, there's the information of my earthwork calculations already set up. This is not the report that we want you to use. We are going to want you to actually pull the earthwork piece up from our dashboard. So if I use my analyze, I have my volumes dashboard. I can then choose on my volumes dashboard, I can go ahead and add a surface in here. And it's, I always forget which one it is. So add volume surface. And this one's actually, I think it's create the new volume surface. We're going to use the add volume surface, which is earthwork. Hit OK. This is now my information. That was the same information that you just saw before. So I actually have a net graph. There's more cut than fill. And I can also now click on this little tab here that says generate a report. This for later. This is my volume, my cut fill report. This is what we want you to print. You can go ahead and print this out and then choose your printer. I'm actually at my home office here, so it's not going to show you the same printers, but we can then print this information out. Actually, I should have seen, because I'm going to print this using the Acrobat Adobe PDF. And apply, you print that, and then I can go ahead and choose that as a file. Right? Okay. So that's all we need to do to create an Earthwork surface for us to create the comparative. Next, I'm going to talk about how to represent that earthwork in a figure or representation.